Hi everyone, welcome to Pharmachem tutorials. In this video, I would like to explain about noradrenaline neurochemistry. So noradrenaline neurochemistry involves an biosynthesis, storage, release, regulation as well as metabolism of noradrenaline. And coming to the first one, biosynthesis of noradrenaline. The noradrenaline, adrenaline, and dopamine, all these three neurotransmitters are generally, we can name it as catecholamines, also named it as biogenic amines. These biogenic amines are synthesized in adrenergic neurons, especially in presynaptic nerve terminal, majorly by utilizing the precursor known as phenylalanine. We get this phenylalanine from various food sources. That phenylalanine is utilized for the biosynthesis of a noradrenaline. The phenylalanine, first it undergoes an hydroxylation. This is the structure of phenylalanine. Undergoes hydroxylation in aromatic ring and gives an tyrosine. The tyrosine is considered as a metabolic precursor of noradrenaline. The tyrosine is considered as metabolic precursor for the biosynthesis of noradrenaline. Then the tyrosine again undergoes hydroxylation in the presence of tyrosine hydroxylase at this position and it gives a DOPA. So what is DOPA is dihydroxy, DO for dihydroxy, PA meant for phenylalanine. What is DOPA? Dihydroxy phenylalanine we will get. Upon two hydroxylation reactions from phenylalanine, we get DOPA. The DOPA is undergoes decarboxylation in the presence of DOPA decarboxylase enzyme. There is a removal of this carbon dioxide moiety and finally it gives a dopamine. So dopamine is also considered as one of the catecholamine. The dopamine upon beta hydroxylation in the presence of enzyme dopamine beta hydroxylase, and the which one is an beta carbon atom is the carbon which is connected to amine. This one is an alpha and next one is a beta, and this beta carbon atom specifically undergoes hydroxylation and it gives a noradrenaline. So these are the sequence of steps involved in the conversion of phenylalanine to noradrenaline. All these sequence of steps we are observed in presynaptic nerve terminal. I just repeat, phenylalanine upon hydroxylation gives tyrosine. Tyrosine again upon hydroxylation it gives DOPA. Up to this step, we are converting the phenyl ring into a catechol. Then the DOPA undergoes decarboxylation. It gives an amine. This ethylamine side chain undergoes hydroxylation. It gives ethanol amine side chain containing compound that is nothing but noradrenaline. And after biosynthesis, next step is storage. Whatever the synthesized noradrenaline is undergoes storage in presynaptic nerve terminal in a specified cells. We can name it as an chromaffin cells. In chromaffin cells, the noradrenaline is stored as a tricomplex along with ATP and a protein called as chromogranin A until it undergoes a release into synaptic cleft. And third, after biosynthesis and storage, next one is a release. How the noradrenaline is released from presynaptic nerve terminal into synaptic cleft is whenever there is a response to nerve impulse, the noradrenaline is released into synaptic cleft by a process named as exocytosis. So how the exocytosis will occur is the presynaptic nerve terminal, upon nerve impulse generation, there is an influx of calcium ions. First, there is influx of calcium ions. The influx of calcium, nothing but the entry of calcium further promotes the fusion of chromaffin cells into presynaptic nerve membrane, and finally it promotes the exocytosis process and it releases a noradrenaline from presynaptic nerve terminal into synaptic cleft. Just I repeat, First, there is a generation of action potential. The action potential in the form of nerve impulse promotes entry of calcium. The entry of calcium further promotes fusion of storage vesicles with presynaptic nerve membrane and finally promotes exocytosis. Then there is a release of noradrenaline from presynaptic nerve terminal into synaptic cleft. That is about a release. See this picture. This picture represents the biosynthesis of noradrenaline and followed by its storage and release. And the released noradrenaline is bind with the postsynaptic receptors, and some of the noradrenaline bind with the presynaptic receptor, especially alpha 2, and the some undergoes a metabolism. And this is the pictorial representation of biosynthesis and storage and release of noradrenaline. And coming to the regulation of release, as we are observed in this picture, so the P-synaptic receptor, nothing but alpha 2, plays an important role in regulation of release of noradrenaline. So how it regulate the release is, after if there is excess release of noradrenaline into synaptic cleft, the released noradrenaline automatically bind with alpha 2 receptor. Alpha 2 is a type of GI receptor. It is an inhibitory receptor. It inhibits the adenylate cyclase enzyme. The adenylate cyclase enzyme, if it is inhibited, it automatically inhibits the entry of calcium. As we are already discussed in the release, if the entry of calcium is not there, it inhibits the process nothing but exocytosis and prevents the release of noradrenaline. So this mechanism we can name it as auto-inhibitory feedback mechanism. The regulation of noradrenaline is the release of noradrenaline is inhibited by itself, so we can name it as feedback inhibitory mechanism, or also name it as auto-inhibitory mechanism. So the receptor responsible for this is nothing but alpha 2, which is located at presynaptic nerve terminal. That is about the regulation of release of noradrenaline. Coming to the metabolism, various endogenous as well as exogenous catecholamines are majorly metabolized in the presence of two enzymes. One is monoamino oxidase and catechol orthomethyl transferase. These are the two enzymes responsible for metabolism of noradrenaline, adrenaline, etc. And coming to the first enzyme, monoamino oxidase, simply we can name it as MAO. This is also named as MAO enzyme. And the location of this enzyme is, it is generally present within the cells bound to mitochondria at nerve terminals, liver, as well as an intestinal epithelium. So MAO enzyme generally converts the catecholamines into corresponding aldehyde. Then the obtained aldehyde is converted into carboxylic acid. The amine, in the presence of MAO, it gives a carboxylic acid finally. And coming to the next enzyme, catechol orthomethyl transferase, simply name it as COMT. So this enzyme will do only methylation. Especially the methylation is occurred at the one of the catechol hydroxy group to give methoxy derivative. So only the COMT will do the methylation, whereas MAO will convert that noradrenaline into its aldehyde followed by a carboxylic acid. See the first one, metabolism of noradrenaline in the presence of monoamino oxidase enzyme. So this is the structure of noradrenaline. It consisting of catechol as well as ethanolamine. In the presence of monoamino oxidase enzyme, it undergoes two steps. One is deamination followed by oxidation. Upon deamination, there is a removal of amine group, and followed by oxidation, it gives a aldehyde. The NH, it takes this hydrogen and lost as ammonia. Whatever the CH group undergoes oxidation, it gives a aldehyde. By oxidative deamination of noradrenaline, it gives aldehyde. The aldehyde again undergoes oxidation, it gives a carboxylic acid. The obtained metabolite, we can name it as dihydroxy mandelic acid. So the noradrenaline, upon metabolism. In the presence of monoamino oxidase, it undergoes oxidase deamination followed by oxidation. It gives dihydroxy mandelic acid. And next one is in the presence of catechol ardomethyl transferase. The catechol ardomethyl transferase name itself indicates that it transfer methyl group to catechol nucleus, especially at ardo position. So here, this OH, the hydrogen is replaced by methyl group. This is possible in the presence of COMT. And the first step is the noradrenaline. In the presence of COMT enzyme, there is a transfer of methyl group to the catechol nucleus, and finally it gives methoxy derivative. The name of this metabolite is normetanephrine. The noradrenaline, in the presence of COMT, we get normetanephrine. So this is the only step served by a COMT. Next, the normetanephrine undergoes again metabolism in the presence of MAO. In the similar pattern, whatever we discussed previously, MAO is involved in oxidative deamination. It gives removal of amine as the CH is converted into aldehyde. It gives normetanephrine aldehyde. This normetanephrine aldehyde undergoes two reactions. One is it may be undergoes oxidation, it may be undergoes reduction. The aldehyde group upon reduction is nothing but addition of hydrogens. The aldehyde is converted into alcohol. What the alcohol metabolite is nothing but 3-methoxy 4-hydroxy phenyl ethylene glycol. This is simply named as MOPEG. MOPEG is the one metabolite we are observed in the presence of COMT followed by an MAO. Next one, this is about reduction. Next, the aldehyde upon oxidation, it gives acid. The name of this acid is vanillyl mandelic acid. Previously in the presence of MAO, we get an dihydroxy mandelic acid. Here we get vanillyl mandelic acid. This is also named as 3-methoxy 4-hydroxy mandelic acid. These are the two metabolites, MOPEG and VMA. Nothing but vanillyl mandelic acid are the two metabolites we get in the presence of COMT. Nothing but catechol ardomethyl transferase. This is about the metabolism of noradrenaline. So in this video, I will explain about an biosynthesis of noradrenaline from phenylalanine, then followed by how it is stored in storage vesicles, and followed by how it undergoes release by depolarization as well as exocytosis process, how the release is regulated in the presence of alpha-2 receptor, as well as how it undergoes metabolism. Thank you all of you. Hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you.